It is cool in some ways. But it's really all due to my teammates. Obviously, Brandon has been a huge part of that, making a lot of plays for me. Richard and Kevin as well. All of our tight ends, especially our offensive line. Their protection's been great all year. They've been keeping me upright. Helping me be able to complete a lot of passes.
And is this a transition? I know you've been here a while. School started after 2 straight months of football. Is it still a little bit of an adjustment?
I don't think it's too bad. Maybe your first year or two, it might be a little different. It just becomes a really long day. When we don't have school, we usually get done here around 2 or 3, and then you really have nothing. But nowadays that's when school starts. So. I don't think it's too big of an adjustment by now. I know we have a lot of help to help us stay on top of everything.
Do you like seeing all these students back now?
Yeah, it's cool. Corvallis, suddenly seems a lot bigger.
So you talked about the pass protection there. What do you think has been key for them? Because, like you said, you've been upright for a good chunk.
I think they're a group that studies really hard. I think that's something they oftentimes don't deserve, don't get a lot of credit for. But they deserve it because they spend a lot of time studying their opponents. They know all their pressures. So it's a big challenge for them to kind of each week. It's a kind of new beast they have to stop. But I think they do a good job of it.
Speaking of seeing all these students, all these bodies around, it's probably weird seeing all those offensive linemen back. This bye week pretty big for them, right? Getting back.
Yeah, no, it's kind of the perfect timing for a bye week. I think guys are close to being pretty healthy. It's kind of nice to have a bye week, first week of school, get back in the swing of things. So, I think it's good. As long as we use it to kind of stay sharp and have guys kind of get fresh, I think it'll be good for us.
Sean, big picture, what's making this offense click right now?
I think we're executing, pretty well. Obviously some mistakes that we can clean up, but I think all in all, we're not busting a lot of assignments during games. I don't think we're committing very many dumb penalties. I think the other thing that's been good about it is, even though, we've kind of been winning as of late, I think guys all know and feel that we can play a lot better. So I think continuing to acknowledge that we can improve even when you win, I think is real good for us.
What's the focus on offense for the bye week?
Just stay sharp. Keep working on our base stuff. I know for me, I'm really trying to work on my footwork. I'm really trying to get my feet good. I think as long as you kind of just treat it like a game week and let the coaches worry about the reps and what we might be doing, I think we'll be fine. I'm going in with the same mindset I would any Tuesday practice.
Sean, as an offensive player, many people are saying first complete game for the defense. As an offensive guy, do you look at that and were you happy to see that out of your defense on Saturday?
Oh, real happy about it. I've always had faith in our defense. I think even in that last game, I think we really hung them out to dry a lot. We had, I think, 4 3-and-outs in the first quarter, which I think, we can't do that to our defense because they were battling and playing really well. So, I think we need to do a good job extending drives, letting our defense be fresh when they go out on the field. But I thought they played outstanding. I always think they're one of the toughest defenses to go against.
You mentioned working on your footwork during this bye week. Is that the main thing you really want to work on, or are there other areas of things that you're ongoing, that you'd like to improve?
Well, you want to improve in all areas. I think just my footwork is something that I really kind of want to focus on. I think bye week's a good time to kind of try to get rid of some of the bad habits you might have. Kind of focus on some of the areas that in a game week there's so much to learn, you might not really be able to address it. So I know I'll have Nick Hallberg just kind of watch me during practice and just say, hey, can you make sure I'm always stepping into my throws, make sure I'm not throwing on my heels, that kind of thing.
Sean, do you ever peek ahead and realize, the schedule in the second half I know is a lot harder. You got 4 ranked teams. Do you think about that, or do you just, it's not here yet, you can't?
It's just week to week. You just focus on one opponent to the next. To be honest, I'm not even really sure, what the order of our next games are. I know we're playing Washington State next, and that's all I'm focused on. Yep.
We got to get you on camera, Sean, before the season starts. Are the Flyers going to win the cup? Who's winning the cup this year? You're the hockey guy.
I feel good about the Flyers. Made some good signings in the off season. LeCavalier and Strait and Ray Emery. So feel good about it. Last year was tough with a short season, so I feel good about their chances.
Thanks, Sean.
Hockey your favorite sport or?
Football. Football is my favorite sport. I do like hockey though. I really like hockey. I got to find a way to get all the Flyers games. I don't know how to do it. So
You don't have Game Center?
I will. See, the thing is, you have to get the Game Center live. So I was looking at a little out of my price range. If I can just get Flyers games, it'd be perfect.
How'd you become a hockey fan, being from, where you're from?
Well, it's funny. The Bay Area team was always the Sharks, San Jose Sharks, and they were really good. But I never really made it to any games. I think our equipment guy, Lightning, he's a Canadian guy, so they have some hockey sticks in their equipment room. So sometimes I go in there and mess around with that. But I really started watching the Stanley Cup playoffs 2 years ago when the Kings won, and I watched the Flyers Penguins series, and it was just awesome. It was like really fun hockey to watch. And then at the same time, I bought the video game, so I could watch the games and then go play with the teams. So then I learned about all the players. So
have you developed a dislike for the Pens then?
I'm not a big fan of the Penguins. I'm not a big fan. It's funny. One of our trainers is actually from Pittsburgh, so he's a big Penguins fan. So we go back and forth on it. But yeah, it's just the kind of thing where I was watching it, and then I could go home, play the game, and talk to Lightning about it, and he'd tell me all these random things about hockey. So it's kind of a little hobby of mine, I guess.